Rogers Dab Chevrolet was just a regular car dealership here in Brandon, Mississippi, and about 10 years ago we started branching off with our parts department, and we became one of the top 3 largest parts departments for powertrain, for engines and transmissions in the country. So in doing so, why not support the industry that supports the most powertrain, which is your performance engines and racing? And there's a need there that was not being filled. There was a customer base that was not being taken care of.
We keep the sealed crate motors in stock, the 602, the 604s, the 525s. Whether you're driving a late model or a modified or a street stock, we've got an engine for your car. We also carry the accessory kits, KRC drives. We also do Gary Williams carburetors. We've been in this for a couple years now, and we're doing it to benefit the racers.
Everyone is trying to get into racing, knows that it's not a cheap sport to get into. So price structure was a big thing in taking care of the racers, and we knew early on that we did not want to make this a profit center. We wanted to make it about the racers. Price is a big thing. However, customer service is where it's at. And we've had several instances where racetracks have called us and said, hey, we had a driver out here qualifying and their engine popped, and it's Friday night at 9 o'clock, and our team, Benny and Ryan, are calling me and saying, hey boss, we need to take care of this race car driver. Let's get them an engine as soon as possible. And they'll be here before sunrise the next morning on Saturday morning, pulling that engine, getting it to that person so they can get it installed and be racing that night. That's the kind of customer service we want to deliver.
The following is a special presentation of Crate Racing USA, America's leader in racing. This is Crate Racing USA Live.
They're side by side. The top 2 of the points are 4th and 5th right now. Here comes Jimmy Thomas. We're back underway out of turn 4. 13 circuits to go around the Talladega short track, and we now have ourselves a battle for the lead. Out of turn number 4, Jeremy Steele wins the Turkey 100. This is America's leader in racing, the Rogers Dab Performance Parts Crate Racing USA Dirt Late Model Series 4Y.
And now your host, Cody Earley.
Well, hello there again, and welcome in to Crate Racing USA Live, episode number 15. My name is Cody Earley. Glad to be with you this evening. We got a really good show coming up, including the most recent winner on the Rogers Dabs Performance Parts Crate Racing USA Dirt Late Model Series. Career win number 2 for Hayden Cardwell happened on Saturday night at the Harvey Jones Memorial down at All-Tech. His second crown jewel win down there, and the 3rd for car owner Chip Vineyard. As a matter of fact, about $140,000 has came out of All-Tech Raceway thanks to that CBR race car. We'll chat with him tonight about his racing career, the move up, the return back to Chip Vineyard's race car, and we'll talk about the Cardwell name in East Tennessee. We'll do that coming up this evening. We'll have one of the veterans on the line, Larry Harrod. If you had a chance to come see us at All-Tech Raceway on Saturday night, then you've seen Larry almost make his 60th career feature. Unfortunately, some mechanical issues ended the run during the P-Main, and we all took a deep breath. We'll talk with Larry tonight on the show about his racing career, about how his career got started, what he's into now, and, of course, he's one of the big supporters of Joseph Brown, who currently sits atop of the Rogers Dabs Performance Parts Crate Racing USA Dirt Late Model Series standings. We'll talk to him about that relationship as well. That's all coming up on the show tonight. As we always do, we get started with looking back on the week that was. The week that was Week 18. That means there's only 14 weeks left in the 2026 National Point season. Here's how things shook down last week in week number 18. On Friday night, June the 26th, unfortunately, well, we got to talk about weather first. The Cochran Motor Speedway scheduled to have the Hunt the Front Super Dirt Series in action. That event, unfortunately, canceled. They had some heavy rain earlier in the week, and they had some equipment issues that did not allow them to get the racetrack where it needed to be, so unfortunately, they had to cancel that event. Paducah International Raceway was set to host the Dirt Cars Summer Nationals, the Hell Tour, and Mother Nature wreaked havoc on Friday night, not allowing Paducah to host that event. As a matter of fact, the state of Kentucky kind of got robbed of the Summer Nationals last weekend. Pike County, well, they had the I-55 Street Stock Shootout featuring the Southern Dirt Street Stock Nationals. We'll talk about that coming up. It was prelim night for them on Friday night. Hattiesburg Speedway, one of the only tracks I feel like on Friday night that was able to get competition in. Rodney Sheridan of Louisiana drove to victory lane in the Crate Racing USA Dirt Late Models, and it was Ricky Idem out of Hattiesburg, the hometown driver, going to victory lane in the Street Stocks. We flip it over to Saturday. We have to start with weather. Saturday, well, Cedar Ridge Speedway, unfortunately, another race up there in Kentucky, unfortunately rained out. They were supposed to have a big Crown Vic special on Saturday. Western Kentucky Speedway, they also got rained out on Saturday night. Further south we go, and conditions were a little drier. Loxley, Alabama, the Deep South Speedway. Taylor Jarvis of Milton, Florida, was able to continue his strong season. He went to victory lane in the Crate Racing USA Dirt Late Models, and it was Calvin Martin, man, just continuing to have a good 2026, hunting for that 4th national championship. He went to victory lane in the Street Stocks. The Playground of Power welcomed to USCS Sprint Cars on Saturday night. It was Kyle Knotts of Smith Station, Alabama, picking up the late model win, and it was Richie Stevens, that's right, the Rocket Man. He went to victory lane in the Crate Racing USA Late Model Sportsman. We go to the Mag in Columbus, Mississippi. It was weekly racing at Magnolia, and in the Dirt Late Models, it was Meridian, Mississippi's Nick Thrash going to victory lane. Here's track announcer Ross Tingle.
2 laps to go, 2 to go. Michael Haney trying to battle back, but out front the 2.0 car. Storm, the Team Zero car. He's in control as the white flag waves one more time around. David Williamson runs second. Checkered flag of falling is going to go to Nick Thrash.
In the late model sportsman, it was Chase Pennington going to victory lane, continuing his very successful season. Shelby Sheedy held off the one and only Dr. Dirt for the win. Unfortunately, Johnny had some trouble late in the going. Here's track announcer Ross Tingle.
White flag, he's got one more time to go. Stokes with problems. He'll stay green. He'll try to exit the speedway. The one car, Johnny Stokes, may have a flat tire. And here comes the checkered flag. It's going to go to Shelby Sheedy. He'll win it.
And in the modified sportsman, it was Parker Price going to victory lane once again out of Columbus, Mississippi at the Mag. We move over to Tuscumbia, Alabama. It was the Fireworks and Glow Show at Tuscumbia. It was Luke Beckley going to victory lane, the Bluff, Tennessee driver, picking up the win, his first of the year with Crate Racing USA Late Model Sportsman. Track announcer Mark Mitchell.
One more time around the speedway. Lap traffic for Luke Buckley. He's got the lead by about a straightaway. Cruz Wallace in second. Braden Mitchell in third. Out of turn number 4, it's going to be Luke Buckley out of Beach Bluff, Tennessee in the 27, taking your Crate Racing USA Late Model Sportsman Division win.
And down at Southern Raceway in Milton, Florida, this one made headlines over the weekend. They have something called the Back Road Challenge, where a driver can go to the back of the field and have a chance to make some extra money. As a matter of fact, an extra $1,000. Well, Baker, Florida's Trent McLeod said, you know what? I'll do it. I'll go to the back and try to come back and win it. Well, as a matter of fact, he did just that. Here's track announcer Corey Roberts bringing Trent McLeod to the finish line.
Bosley outside of him. We now have a race for the lead. Cheatham on the outside, side by side they go. McLeod on the inside, contact made. 2 to go. McLeod and Cheatham still battling it out. McLeod now with a big gap. 2 car lengths down the back straightaway. Little precision white flag this time by. From the Back Road Challenge, the option for an extra $1,000 in tonight's Cruza Dirt Late Model 25-lap feature race. Your winner out of Baker, Florida, the 58 machine, and $2,500 richer, the 58 of Trent McLeod. Holy cow, what a showcase from the Baker, Florida native.
And the Crate Racing USA Street Stock saw Chase Jenkins of Jay, Florida, pick up the win down in Milton. At Swainsboro Raceway, finally JJ and the staff got to have some competition on the racetrack. It has been a soggy spring for Swainsboro. It was Cameron Tribble going to victory lane in the Crate Racing USA Late Model Sportsman, and it was Matt Davis of Racin, Georgia, going to victory lane once again in the Crate Racing USA Street Stocks. Thunderhill Raceway in Summertown, Tennessee saw Tyler Wood of Hohenwald pick up the win in the Crate Racing USA Modified Sportsman. And on Sunday night, I mentioned Kentucky and rain, right? Well, the Dirt Car Summer Nationals saw their weekend in the Bluegrass State completely washed away as Windy Hollow Speedway saw their show on Sunday night rained out. One final thing to recap over the weekend, the Southern Dirt Street Stock Series made its way to Kai Kelly's Pike County Speedway, another humongous car count for the series. 5,000 to win, and for the first time in 2026, there's a repeat winner in the inaugural season. It was Tyler Nicely of Owensboro, Kentucky, going to victory. Here is track announcer Dylan Elser.
Tyler Nicely down the back straightaway, into turn 3 and 4, coming to the checkered flag. Tyler Nicely in the 25 wins the I-55 Street Stock Shootout. Corey Neal Jr. in the 7 runs second, and Spencer Hughes in the 11 finishes third. That is going to be your podium tonight.
Dylan on the call there as our good friend Matt Bitton not making the trip, scheduled to be up at Paducah, but Mother Nature changed plans, so Dylan got it done this weekend, a 2-day showdown at Pike County. That is a look at how things wrapped up in Week 18 of Crate Racing USA competition. We'll talk about, of course, the big race down at All-Tech on Saturday night. We'll give you a race recap with that coming up in just a little bit. It's time now for our very first guest, and coming up on the line, we'll chat with one of the veterans that came back to the racetrack this weekend and competed at All-Tech, Larry Harrod. We'll have him on the line next. You're listening to Crate Racing USA Live.
Crate Racing USA Live will return after this commercial break.
When performance matters, champions choose Hoosier Racing Tires. As the largest race tire manufacturer in the world, Hoosier produces over 1,000 different types of race tires, engineered for speed, precision, and winning results. With cutting-edge technology like a 300-mile-per-hour test wheel, a state-of-the-art production facility, and advanced mixing plant, Hoosier continues to lead the way in racing innovation worldwide. Hoosier Racing Tires. We fuel passion, pride, and success with our tires designed for champions. Order today at HoosierTire.com or call 574-784-3152. Hoosier Racing Tires. Tires designed for champions.
Racers are dedicated to winning. And Chevrolet Performance's 3 factory-sealed Circle Track crate engines can help you get to the checkered flag first. Whether you're a weekend warrior or a touring hero, on dirt or pavement, Chevrolet Performance Circle Track crate engines are engineered to win. Right out of the box.
I'm Matt Williamson. You know, the thing with the VP Racing Oil is we trusted the fuel for so many years that it was easy to switch to the oil, and we're glad we did. The stuff is phenomenal. It's the best oil out there, and we have all the confidence in the world in every fluid we run on the race car because it comes from VP.
VP Fuel and Lubricants is the only oil and lubricants that we use in our 3-car program, and it's the only one we trust for that.
In racing, every edge matters. Next Racing Wheels may be new to the scene, but behind the name is over 35 years of innovation from Taylor TJ Weld. Built with 100% CNC precision, Next Wheels feature a one-piece center, bolted outer half, and an O-ring seal, eliminating leaks and weak points. And with bead screw technology, you get superior tire retention without the hassle of bead locks. Stronger, lighter, built to handle the abuse while reducing deflection for better traction and balance. Plus, the bolt-together design means faster repairs and more money in your pocket. Innovation, performance, value. Check us out at nextracingwheels.com or find us on Instagram. Next Racing Wheels. The future is next.
Feel the thunder. Experience the heart-pounding action of Crate Racing USA from dirt tracks across the South. Catch every lap, every pass.
3 wide, just momentarily for the lead.
Every victory with Crate Racing USA TV.
The modified main event on this Friday night.
Watch live events or dive into on-demand replays anytime. Whether it's a single night shootout or a full weekend of racing, you're in control. Never miss a moment. Watch from anywhere. Visit CrateRacingUSA.tv now for upcoming events and full race replays. Crate Racing USA TV, America's leader in racing.
Get your 2026 Crate Racing USA membership online today at crateраcingusa.com. That's right, you can save registration time and cut down on the paperwork by simply doing it online through the My Race Pass app. Get your membership and compete at over 30-plus sanctioned tracks across the Southeast and gain those national points and compete at touring events in 2026. It's all at crateраcingusa.com. Welcome back to Crate Racing USA Live. We got our first special guest on the line tonight. It's Big Tree Larry Harrod. Larry, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Well, Larry, it was good to have you back at the track this past Saturday night at the All-Tech Raceway for the Harvey Jones Memorial. First time I was looking, we'd seen you back in 2024 one time, but prior to that, it was all the way back in 2021. Good seeing you back on the racetrack.
Yeah, I had some health issues. I had to have an operation on my neck, and it took a little while to heal up. So I'm healed up now and ready to roll.
Well, we were talking during the broadcast on Saturday night. You were looking for your 60th career start with the Rogers Dabbs Performance Parts Crate Racing USA Dirt Late Model Series. And we thought you were well off to that until you had some mechanical issues in the B main. Tell us what happened on the white flag lap.
Yeah, I was taking the white flag and I seen a bunch of steam. Well, I felt something bump first, and I seen a bunch of steam come out of the hood, and it started vibrating real bad, and I just throwed it out of gear and let it coast, and it was still vibrating, so I just switched it off because I didn't know what had happened. I didn't know if something broke on the engine or what, but I just shut it off and coasted for a little while and cranked it back up again after I stopped, and it was still vibrating, so I just shut it down and got them to push me in.
Well, that happened on the white flag lap leading, and you'd got a pretty big lead. Now, your crew had thought otherwise, that maybe something, thought maybe that you'd shut it down thinking it was the checkered flag lap, I'm hearing.
Yeah, they accused me of trying to take the checkered flag on the white flag. I said, no, the engine broke.
We're talking with Larry Harrod. Made his return to the series this past weekend. Well, Larry, you know, there's a lot of stuff as far as what you've accomplished. Of course, the 2010 Cruise with the Champion Rookie of the Year with this series. What's kind of your story? What gets Larry Harrod in the racing? How did it all begin for you?
Actually, I started racing back in the late 80s and raced all through the 90s. And it's funny, you know, we was at the Harvey Jones race down there, and that car that they had there, if that's the same car, I've raced that car before. I used to race against Harvey Jones in Cordele.
And that's a pretty cool thing in itself. As far as driving now compared to maybe let's go to the 90s, you getting in the car this past weekend, what's some comparisons? What's some things it's very different for you that you've had to adjust to with the modern day late model?
Well, they come out with the 4-bar stuff, and I had to relearn all of that. And of course, back then we didn't have power steering, and you know, it was just straight to the rack. You know, we run wedge cars back then, but we didn't have power steering like they got now. And, of course, the cars are totally different. They're a lot faster now and a lot more maneuverable. Everything's different about the cars now. And
as far as adjustments go, what's some things that stands out to you now that obviously everybody says the newer stuff is easier to adjust compared to back in the day?
It's easier if you know what you're doing. But that's why I got Joe helping me a lot. He's pretty talented with shocks and all, and he helps me a lot. And of course, I've been friends with his family, you know, for forever, I think. But anyway, yeah, the cars nowadays are a lot different than they were back then. There's a lot more adjustments on them, and the cars are a lot faster too.
And you brought up Joseph, of course, sets atop right now the point standing. Second full season on the tour. He's had a really good second half of the year last year and a really good start this year. You mentioned a little bit there that relationship with the family. How did that come about? And Fill us in on what exactly you guys, as far as the race shop goes, as far as communication. You guys are pretty close as far as working on the race cars.
Oh, yeah, we talk just about every day. I actually knew his daddy before he ever started racing. His daddy and his late uncle, they used to bring engine blocks to my uncle, and we didn't build motors for them, but we prepared engine blocks for them to build or sell or whatever they done. And that's how I got to know his daddy. And we were friends back then and still are. And then Joe started racing a couple of years back, and I just kind of been watching him, and he's 100% race. I mean, he's very competitive. He's got a big heart for it, and I like that about him. And he gives it all he's got when he goes racing.
Of course, the series this weekend will head to Cochran Motor Speedway. Have you went ahead and told him that back in 2016 you got yourself a Southern Thunder super late model win there at Cochran? Have you gave him some advice on how to get around that place?
He's probably going to be helping me try to get around it. He knows more about that place than I do. He's won his share of races there too.
When it comes to racing, obviously we've seen you this year already going to Victory Lane at East Alabama. That's a special place too, as far as your racing career.
Yeah, I guess when they paved Cordell, that used to be kind of my home track back when it was dirt, and then it turned to asphalt, and I kind of got out of racing there for a little while during that transition between the wedge cars and what the cars are today. And when I started back to racing after my kids got older or whatever, I started racing at East Alabama and just kind of been there ever since, because that's the closest thing to me. But yeah, that's I've been racing there, I don't know, probably 20 years now.
Yeah, and a lot of wins there, and a lot of special races. Of course, the Alabama State race, that's something I think every year, and I've made the comment when I've announced these races, and I've told people that's something they need to experience at least once, if not a couple of times in their career, right?
Definitely. That's what we call the 72 hours of racing.
Oh, always a good time. We're talking with Larry Harrod. Of course, you talk about Joseph and being on the road. You know, you go back 2010, you won the Rookie of the Year in this thing, and you were third place in the points back in 2012. What little advice have you given him as far as I know Joe did a little bit of limited late model racing as far as touring before last year getting on tour. What's some things that maybe you've told him, you know, you've experienced this being on the road every weekend and week out? What's something that maybe you've passed on to him since you've done this before?
Just be consistent. Don't worry about trying to win every race. Just be consistent. And, you know, he's trying to win the points, and I just preach at him about being consistent. You know, the wins will come if you're consistent.
Indeed. Well, something I wanted to ask, obviously we know about Harrod Logging, Big Tree, the nickname. Where does that come from? Where does that story lead to?
Roby Ham actually gave me that name when I was running the series in 2010 or whenever it was I run for the Rookie of the Year. So the announcer, Roby Ham, he's the one to give me that name. He said, everybody's got a name but you. We're going to give you a name. He said, you're a logger. We're going to call you Big Tree. I said, okay.
And you talk about the logging business, of course, your business. Tell the folks what you do. Obviously, we know you're pretty good behind the wheel, but what's the day-to-day job for Larry?
Just we swamp log. We cut swamps and we cut hills, and we, you know, just cut timber and haul it.
When you say swamp logging, for somebody that's never heard of that term, obviously the common sense would be logs in water. What does swamp logging consist of?
That's when you going in a beaver pond and cutting all the trees out of it.
Yeah, do you ever run into any of those that don't want you to cut their trees down?
Yes, sir.
We're talking about Oh, I was going to say, I figured you might have the advantage. You would have a little more artillery than they do. Well, you know what's some things? I know we got you back in the race car this past weekend. What's some things you got on the agenda? Obviously, I know that you and Joseph working towards trying to get him that championship here in 2026. What's some things you got going on as far as racing goes?
Just whenever the urge hits me, and I'm gonna go race some, and I'll probably go with him on the road some and race with him, and we're gonna probably do a little super racing later on in the year. That's kind of the plans anyway, and just take it day by day and hit some of these money races, I guess. I enjoy going and racing with the Cruiser Series. It's fun to me. It's like I told Joe one time, going to all these different racetracks, you learn a lot more than you do just staying at one racetrack. And he sees it now, and he's enjoying it too. And that's kind of what we're going to do, just move around and race different places and run the series races when they're running. And when they're not, we'll just pick and choose, I guess.
Well, that is one of the lines that I think we've heard him say quite a few times is, man, this ain't a Joe Brown type racetrack. And he's usually in victory lane when he says that. So it kind of makes sense what you're telling us about going different places and getting better. And that's something that you look back on what you've been able to do in the series and being able to go to all these different places. And when, and even when you go back home, it has to at least give you a bigger notebook.
That's right. And he does keep good notes and all, and it's teaching him a lot. And I think he's teaching me now more than I'm trying to teach him, but he's teaching me more now.
We're talking with Larry Harrod. Well, somebody did tell me that I had to ask you about a story, and he told me. He told me he didn't know that how this story would go, but one of our series officials, Chance Smith, had me wanted to ask you about leaving Needmore one night and an animal that was in the path.
Yeah, needless to say, that animal didn't live. It was a horse.
And that was leaving the racetrack one night, right?
Yes, we hadn't been gone 15 minutes from the racetrack, and it's wee hours of the morning. We going down the road, and I look up, and there's a horse right in the center of the road. And I seen him turn to the right, and normally the way they turn, that's the way they go. So I just started weaving to the left to miss him. Of course, I was driving a big semi, and you just can't just snatch the wheel. I almost cleared him, but I didn't quite clear him. And we made contact with him, and of course, after impact with him, I got in the grass on the other side of the road and trying to bring it back. You couldn't snatch it. But needless to say, we turned over without turning over, if that makes sense. A pine tree's the only thing saved us, but it totaled my trailer out, and that was a long night.
Now, how fitting is it that a tree was eventually what saved you in that?
Well, when we hit the horse, of course, we got in the grass, and the trailer just went on down through the ditch. And I looked in the rearview mirror, and it was almost on its side. And the back end of the trailer hit a pine tree, and it bumped the trailer back over. And I think every tire on the right side of the truck was in the air. And after it hit that pine tree, it set back down. And I just put the truck in neutral and looked at everybody. I said, y'all all right? And everybody was fine, but that was a wild ride. I don't know. That pine tree is the only thing saved us from turning over.
Man, oh man, that was leaving it. What year was that? Leaving Needmore?
That was probably in probably 19 or 2000, I think. No, it was 20. 2020, I think. No, 2018, that's when it was. I think that's right.
We're talking with Larry Harrod as we get ready to go to Cochran this weekend. So hearing you say that, are you coming to race with us this weekend?
I want to. I'm planning on it, but it's going to be hot.
It is going to be rather warm this weekend. I know they've named the event Christmas in July. I think they might have missed that with the weather, I think.
Somebody got mixed up.
Well, Larry, we know you got a lot of wins as far as the late model goes. Is there some other types of cars, when you go back in the past, is there some other cars that, what's some other things you've drove?
Of course, limited late model. I drove Hobby, and I don't know what they call it now. I had my first car was a Chevelle, and we had a 421 in it. Late model motor. It wouldn't hook up. It just spin the tires all the way around the racetrack. But the first car that I actually raced was a Camaro. And we won some races with it. And then I messed around and got a stock front clip car. We run limited late model, and I won a heap of races with it. And then after that, I got my first super late model. It was a CJ Rayburn, and we won a lot of races with it. And I think we finally rigged it one time, and I got me another one and raced it, won a lot of races with it. And that's really the only kind of cars I've drove. I ain't never been on asphalt or anything like that, or sprint cars or anything like that.
Obviously in a Longhorn this past weekend, a lot of people say, and a lot of drivers that have driven the old Rayburns, a lot of them say that if they had to choose between a Longhorn or a Rocket now, they would still go back to a Rayburn. How do you feel about that?
I'd have to disagree with that. I'd probably stay in the Longhorn.
We're talking with Larry Harrod. Of course, this past weekend competed with us once again at All-Tech Raceway for the Harvey Jones Memorial. Man, we appreciate you giving us just a little bit of time. I know that when I reached out to Joseph and said we were going to chat with you, he just kind of, I could tell he smiled and he said, yeah, he'll be up for that. So
he probably laughed. He's probably listening right now.
Well, I tell you what, we appreciate you. We appreciate you chatting with us. We thank you for thank you for coming back and racing with us this weekend, and we look forward to seeing you again down the road here in 2026.
Oh yeah, we'll be coming back some more. See if I can run some books.
Larry Harrod, our guest tonight on Crate Racing USA Live. Coming up, we're going to talk about the touring side of things, and we'll get a recap of Saturday night's race at All-Tech. You're listening to Crate Racing USA Live.
Crate Racing USA Live will return after this commercial break.
Need speed? Need parts? Need results? Head to Knowles Race Parts and Bodies in Rome, Georgia. Your one-stop shop for everything racing. From a full line of race parts, shock and setup services, to VP Racing fuels and lubricants, Hoosier Racing tires, and Chevrolet Performance Circle Track engines, Knowles has what it takes to get you to victory lane. Plus, with many parts in stock, you won't be waiting when it matters most. Have questions? They've got answers and the experience to back it up. Remember, Knowles knows race parts and bodies. Call 678-414-4655 or email cdkknowles66@hotmail.com today.
When it comes to race day safety, don't take chances. The Fire Suit Lady has you covered. Velocita by Melissa Markowitz is your go-to source for top quality safety gear, including SFI certified suits, gloves, shoes, and head and neck restraints, plus the latest 2025 Snell rated ZAMP helmets. Whether you're gearing up for the first time or upgrading your equipment, Melissa will make sure you get the right fit and the right protection. Trust experience. Trust safety. Velocita by Melissa Markowitz. Don't take chances.
Looking to transform your outdoor space? Look no further than Bama Sheds. As a family-owned and operated business, we understand your needs. That's why we offer no credit check rent-to-own options. Enjoy free delivery and setup within 35 miles of our 4 convenient locations. Whether you need a shed, pole barn, garage, or carport, we've got you covered. Visit our website at BamaSheds.com or call 256-268-8484. Bama Sheds, where quality meets affordability and your outdoor dreams become reality.
Scorpion Race Cars, home of the Scorpion chassis in Phoenix City, Alabama, is your home for anything racing. From complete cars to any level of fabrication or repairs you need. We're a dealer for all the top brands of racing parts, fuel, and more. Need a complete setup? Give us a call today for your appointment. 334-448-0604. Scorpion Race Cars has over 50 years experience in the business. Find us on Facebook at Scorpion Race Cars or call us today. 334-448-0604.
The baddest street stocks on the planet return to Why Not in 2026. Don't miss the Southern Street Stock Nationals, featuring the Crate Racing USA Street Stocks in a must-see weekend. Over 200 plus entries 1 year ago, and entertainment all weekend long, including live music. It's the Southern Street Stock Nationals at Why Not Motorsports Park, August 12th through the 15th. It's a must-see weekend. Be there.
Race fans have a home on Speed Sport 1. Feel the roar of IHRA Outlaw Nitro Series. Experience the power of American muscle with the Trans Am Series presented by Pirelli. Speed Sport 1 has a wide variety of motorsports competition that will satisfy your inner racer. From IMCA Dirt Track action to Ferrari Challenge North America. Speed Sport 1 is 24/7. Go to speedsport1.com for details and viewing options.
America's leader in racing makes its way to the Batman Design Start Zone. The Harvey Jones Memorial is underway. This one's for you. Whitener will lead the charge into 1 and 2. Joseph Brown to second. Hayden Cardwell, the only choice he's got is to follow the 92. Mark Whitener has shot out of a cannon down the back straightaway.
Yes, he has, Cody. And I'll tell you what, you watched Joseph Brown earlier. He gets his groove here. He'll find his way back to that leader.
And I tell you what, slowly but surely, Joseph Brown has broke out the fishing rod, starting to reel back hit Mark Whitener. That's what he did in that heat race, Joe. He let him get out in front, and he ran him back down. But I tell you what, that 2 of Leighton Sullivan has marched his way up to 3rd, and we'll see if he can set the pace to try to run down these front 2.
Yeah, if you're Joseph Brown, you got to think that maybe letting Mark Whitener get out in front of you for a little while and watching how he gets around All-Tech Raceway might not be the thing to do.
Took advantage. And Wyatt Coffey has stopped, and Leighton Sullivan just slid off the nose of Mark Whitener.
Yeah, Leighton Sullivan has got a hot rod here tonight.
And Wyatt Coffey slow on the back straightaway. We'll see if he turns in. He does not. And there's going to be the first caution flag of the night. It'll come for the driver. And Leighton Sullivan, Joe, you can tell Leighton feels like he's got a really good race car. Oh, man, and he almost went around down in turns 1 and 2. Looked like Hayden Cardwell got into the fuel cell, and now Cardwell's going to fight back on the outside.
Yeah, Cardwell's got a good car right here on the outside. And here comes Whitener again trying to battle for the lead. Joseph Brown kind of locks down coming out of turns number 4 and stretches it out down the front straightaway. I tell you what, Joseph Brown has got the power matted here tonight. Looks good around All-Tech. Car sealed off really well.
He is very, very smooth and very methodical. Somebody that's not smooth, well, the battle for second. Hayden Cardwell just went around Leighton Sullivan, and he got around Mark Whitener in turns 3 and 4 to go to second.
Yeah. The 17 car of Hayden Cardwell up into that second position. Yeah, Bubba's got some damage there on the driver's side there. Not much, nothing to slow him down at all.
And I tell you what, I'm looking. Ross Bales is still on the racetrack. The 09 of Ross Bales is still out there.
And moving forward.
Yeah.
Got a long road to hoe to catch that 92 car. You see Leighton Sullivan and Mark Whitener racing side by side for that 3rd position.
They've been fighting ever since the second heat race, fighting each other, that is, for position. They're going to go back at it again down here in turns 3 and 4. Whitener's going to throw it in there. Got right almost into the door panel.
What a slide job right there. Some of these guys do, some of them don't.
Some of them don't,
yeah.
And they'll admit they don't. Now, I don't know how the stick guy feels about that. Joseph Brown still showing the way. You're looking at your Scorpion race cars. Hard Charger, Griffin Smith's up 10 spots. He started 23rd. He's up to 13, so he's gaining some points after having to go to the B main to race his way in. Actually had to take a provisional to get in.
Yes. So
So Joseph Brown has caught the tail end of the field, and Hayden Cardwell has caught him.
Hayden Cardwell is closed in on the 92.
An orange flash go around him on the inside as Cardwell thinks about going. Will he make the move into turn 3? He thinks about it. He dives to the bottom, and there it is. Slight job for the lead off 4. Joseph Brown will come back. Can he repay the favor? He will not. New leader on lap number 24. It's Hayden Cardwell.
Cardwell's impressive here. Good on the bottom side of the speedway and on the high side, but Joseph Brown applied that pressure, slid up in front of the 17. The 17 will answer the call, back down a straightaway into turns number 3 and 4. New leader, Joseph Brown, back to the front.
Yeah, Joseph Brown decides he's going to block that slider going into 3, and he'll shut the door and go back to work. So for the second time tonight, Joseph Brown has went back to the point. Back to work we go. Back into the Batman Design restart zone. Joseph Brown will lead the way. The bottom opens up for Leighton Sullivan, and he comes Ramboing through. Leighton is committed to the bottom. I will say that. He has worked the bottom of the racetrack almost this whole night, and now he's going to go side by side with Hayden Cardwell. And here comes John Ruggiero Jr. up to 6th.
Yeah, Ruggiero, I've been watching him and the 2 of Trent Lloyd. They're racing pretty hard together. You got Bubba Whitener right there. Those guys are getting after it. Ruggiero right there gets in the back of Bubba, rolling into 515. Had to get out of the gas.
Yeah, he did. And I tell you what, I've noticed something too. The right foot. Oh, man! Bubba Whitener caught the U tire in 4, and the caution's going to come out. Get into the Batman Design restart zone. Boy, Joseph did not get the jump good on Hayden Cardwell, and the field is going to be within striking distance going into 1. Cardwell on the top side. They'll go up the racetrack. Mark Whitener's got the bottom. Nearly 3 wide for the lead. It's going to be a drag race off turn 2. It'll go to Brown for now. What does Hayden Cardwell do going into turn 3? He'll jump to the outside. Side by side at All-Tech for the lead. Can Cardwell take the lead back off turn 4? The answer is yes.
Wow. Cardwell's good on the bottom. He's good on the top. Cody, anywhere he wants to point the race car, it seems like it'll go right there.
Yeah, and I cued that restart. I said that he got a much better restart. Joseph didn't get the jump on him in the restart zone, and Hayden Cardwell was strong enough in 1, and he will show the way. He'll lead lap number 30. We got 20 to go here at All-Tech. All of a sudden, that 21 car, I mentioned the consistency in the top 10s, and he is starting to figure out things as he'll work towards the top 5. Him and Bubba rolling a little bit of contact down there in the bottom of turn 4 as the leaders go into turns 1 and 2.
Tight racing down there between the 21 and the 515. Joey Armstead now moves to the high side. Bubba rolling back to the bottom side of the racetrack. A good battle in front of them there between the Ruggiero and the 5 of Whitener, and we've got contact between Cameron Saunders. Trent Lloyd looks like a flat tire maybe back there.
Yeah, something is wrong with the 2. Something is wrong with the 2. He went slow into turns 1 and 2. We still don't have a yellow yet. He makes the left-hand turn, and his night is, he might have hit a U-tire.
He's got some damage. Yeah, he's got some damage on the nose there.
Joseph Brown can watch it right now as they'll cross the stripe. 34 laps of our 50 in the books. Biggest mover right now, the Scorpion Race Cars hard charger, Griffin Smith. He's up 15 spots.
Man, he's had a great run so far here tonight. The top 3 have kind of broken away. They're clear of the field. They're out there running their own race. Best battle on the racetrack has been the 44 and the 5. And it looks like the CO2 of Tyler Clem slow on the back straightaway here.
So into the Batman Design restart zone we go. 35 of 50 complete here in the 6th annual Harvey Jones Memorial. Boy, and you can tell, Joseph Brown spun the tires. Joseph spun the tires, and the field's going to stack up. Are we going to make it to turn 1? I believe we will. We're ping-pong balling them through the second half of the top. We're 5 wide.
Man.
We just made it through turns 1 and 2, 5 wide. Bubba Rolling's going to be the one that's going to be on the outside looking in as everybody else is going to sort through.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, Joseph Brown spun the tires on that Oh, and around goes Bubba Rolling, and a hard contact between Ross Bales, and I couldn't see who the 3rd car, Cameron Saunders is in there.
Yeah.
Mark Whitener and Leighton Sullivan's going to come right back into the mix, and so is Joey Armistead. Armistead running 5th.
Joey Armistead has had a great run. Yeah, he's just been great all night. Stayed out of trouble. Racing for a top 5 position here tonight in the closing laps. 14 laps remaining. Cardwell back out front. Joseph Brown, that restart didn't work out the way he planned it, but nice try.
Yeah, and I think he put all of his cards into turns 1 and 2, and he was hoping that Cardwell would wash up the racetrack, and he didn't. field completes lap 37. Cardwell out front, Joseph Brown second, Mark Whitener, Leighton Sullivan, Joey Armistead rounds out your top 5 with John Ruggiero Jr. just outside of them. And Griffin Smith now runs 7th. He is currently your Scorpion Race Cars hard charger. He is up 16 spots in this feature. Took a provisional to get in. And that goes back to what I said. They see Diesel leave out of here and have trouble, and you see Joseph Brown up front. If you're trying to contend for this championship, you've got to get all you can get no matter where you're at on the racetrack.
Yeah, you really do. The points racing deal is a game. It's a game. You got to play it in your head. You got to watch what's going on around you. You have to watch what cars drop out, where they're at on the racetrack. You have to watch the scoreboard as well.
We are getting ready to see 2 handfuls of laps to go. 10 laps to go at the Harvey Jones Memorial at the All-Tech Raceway. 10 circuits remain. It's Hayden Cardwell right now showing the way, trying to find himself back to victory lane. He picked up a win here in 2025 at the Powell Family Memorial, and he's trying to do it again. This time take the other crown jewel, the Harvey Jones Memorial, and right now off of turn number 4 he will see 9 circuits to go in the Chip Vineyard CVR. And I tell you what, Joseph Brown cut it down pretty considerably down here in turns 1 and 2.
Yeah, watching Brown in car number 92, the driver out of Columbus, Georgia. He's not done with Hayden Cardwell yet. He's still got 9 laps to deal with him. Hayden Cardwell makes one mistake, and Joseph Brown is going to be right there.
Yeah, and Hayden's kind of taken a little bit higher of a line than Joseph was earlier. Now it looks like they both migrated to the bottom that last time by. As Mark Whitener sets in 3rd, Leighton Sullivan 4th, Joey Armistead rounds out in your top 5. It looks like that the leaders will catch Jonah Bozeman and Austin Lehman, who are running right now, should be 12th and 13th on the racetrack. Quietly, Hayden Cardwell marching away from this 2nd place running Joseph Brown. But the best battle right now seems to be the fight for 3rd as Sullivan's on the bottom, Mark Whitener's on the top side, way on the top side. He comes off turn 4 and loses a ton of ground up top that time, Joe.
Yeah, he really slipped up coming out of turns number 3 and 4 this time. We'll see what he does here. Draws the car down to the bottom side.
But he will make his way into turns 3 and 4. He will see the white flag. It will be Hayden Cardwell making his way into turns 1 and 2. Getting ready to make a little bit of history as the first driver from the volunteer state to put his stamp on the Harvey Jones Memorial in honor of South Georgia, North Florida legend out of turns 3 and 4 for the 2nd time in his career. Hayden Cardwell picks up a win, and it's the Harvey Jones Memorial. Oh, what a night it was as Hayden Cardwell picked up his 2nd career Rogers Dabbs Performance Parts Crate Racing USA Dirt Late Model Series win, backing up his 2023 Alabama State Championship down at the East Alabama Motor Speedway. Welcome back to Crate Racing USA Live. It's time to dive into the touring side, and it's going to be a busy weekend this weekend. But before we get into the racing action this weekend, we'll take a look at how things finished up on Saturday night at All-Tech during the Harvey Jones Memorial. It was Hayden Cardwell winning, Joseph Brown 2nd, Leighton Sullivan 3rd, Mark Whitener 4th, John Ruggiero Jr. was 5th. Joey Armistead picking up his 5th career top 10 in a row. He finished 6th. Griffin Smith was 7th, Austin Yarborough 8th, Tyler Clem 9th, and Garrett Stewart rounded out the top 10. In the My Race Pass Fantasy Racing Hot Laps, Hayden Cardwell was fastest overall at a 19.176. The Bama Sheds and Pole Barns Pole Award went to Joseph Brown. By the way, a new track record, 18.118. That is scooting around the half mile down in Lake City. Chevrolet Performance Heat Race winners, Joseph Brown, Mark Whitener, Trent Lloyd, and Hayden Cardwell. And Rogers Dabbs B-Main winners, Austin Yarborough and Nick Johnson. Nick Johnson, of course, cashing in on the unfortunate from Larry Harrod in B-Main number 2. Scorpion Race Cars Hard Charger, Griffin Smith, 23rd to 7th on Saturday night. A great points night for him. He went from 5th to 3rd in the standings after that. The Columbus Sports Cards Tough Luck Award, I think we all took a deep breath. Chase Giddens, I stand corrected. I said his first career top 10. It was first career top 5 the week before last at Modoc. He was looking for his second straight top 5 finish. Unfortunately, the drive shaft for Chase broke on lap 13, ending his run. The 87 Inc. 15th place finisher went to Bubba Rolling. That is how things shook up. The point standings heading into a doubleheader weekend this weekend at Cochran. Joseph Brown has a 26-point advantage over Austin Yarborough. It was Griffin Smith who made the jump from 5th to 3rd after Diesel Jones and Bubba Rolling had trouble. Griffin now set to top of the Cruise with the Champion Rookie of the Year race. He's 62 points out of the top spot, with Diesel Jones just 2 points behind him. That's 64 points back. And Bubba Rolling now 74 points back from the top spot. Joey Armistead just keeps hacking away at the top 5. He's now 86 points out of the top spot and just behind Bubba Rolling by about 14 points. So he is close and gaining ground. Chase Giddens 7th, Jonah Bozeman 8th, Colton Herbert and Austin Bloodworth would round out your top 10. The series, well, it's Cochran weekend. Christmas in July. A pair of features this weekend for the Rogers Dabbs Performance Parts Crate Racing USA Dirt Late Model Series. $2,500 to win on Friday night and $5,000 to win for the series on Saturday night. The first doubleheader weekend of the 2026 season. Now, there's going to be more of those coming up. Of course, we'll have Penton and Sonoa later on in the year, but a doubleheader weekend coming up for the series and a chance for some drivers to maybe build some momentum as we get ready to go into what is going to be a summer break. We'll have 2 races this weekend at Cochran and then the 22nd annual Governor's Cup at Magnolia. That comes up July 10th and 11th. And then we pretty much have a month off before the series goes back to work at Penton on August 21st and at Sonoa on August 22nd. So really a chance to regroup and get things all lined up before we head into that second half of the season grind. Well, not only is the Crate Racing USA Dirt Late Model Series in action this weekend, so is the Rogers Dabbs Performance Parts Crate Racing USA Late Model Sportsman Tour. They get ready for a doubleheader weekend at Pine Ridge Speedway. It's the 3rd annual Rumble at the Ridge. Dustin Harris controls the points by 2 points over Caleb Ashby. He'll come into the weekend with Griffin Jones in 3rd, Joey Tucker in 4th. Brody Thompson rounds out the top 5. The top 5 in the Late Model Sportsman Tour separated by only 24 points. Then it's 20 points back to Brennan Shirley, who sets 6th. Devin Watley would be 7th. Brandon Lunsford would be 8th. Stephen Bryant 9th. And Knox Lambert would round out the top 10, as it is a double feature weekend for the Late Model Sportsman Tour as well. They'll have a $1,000 to win showdown on Friday night, and then they'll come back with the main event of the weekend, a $2,500 to win on Saturday night. So, man, oh man, pressure building for them as well, as they will also have Magnolia coming up, but they're going to get a little bit of a break. It'll be August 7th and 8th before the series goes back to work at Magnolia. That'll be a $5,000 to win for them. And, of course, that's that remake of the 602 World Championship that got rained out earlier this year. And then the Late Model Sportsman Tour, they'll join us at Penton August 21st and Sonoa on August the 22nd. So now you're caught up with everything when it comes to the touring side of things. Coming up, we'll chat with the guy that went to Victory Lane on Saturday night, Hayden Cardwell. We'll talk about the return to Chip Vineyard Racing. We'll talk about the Cardwell name in East Tennessee. If you've been around East Tennessee, you know there's quite a few of those. We'll see if Hayden can break it all down for us coming up. You're listening to Crate Racing USA Live.
Crate Racing USA Live will return after this commercial break.
As far as I can remember, my dad was always buying VP fuel. And then once I got to a certain level of racing where I was good enough, I was sponsored by VP, and I believe VP, my whole entire career, is what I ran with at Mitch's at Pro Circuit, and then also Factory Kawasaki. So very reliable fuel, it makes good power, and you can relatively get it anywhere. So that's the beauty of VP, is always supporting our sport and making sure that we all have fuel to go racing.
Looking for the ultimate racing getaway? Then pack your bags and join us for the 28th annual Cruise with the Champions, January 17th through the 23rd, 2027. set sail on the beautiful Carnival Vista for a 6-day Eastern Caribbean adventure featuring stops at Amber Cove, Half Moon Key, and Celebration Key. This is your chance to relax, connect, and hang out with your racing family away from the track. But listen up, cabins are limited, and if you want to be close to your crew, you need to get that deposit in now. Got a Carnival code? Be sure to let us know, and always compare pricing to get the best deal. Interior, ocean view, and balcony rooms are available, but they won't last long. Got questions? Call or text 678-414-6970 today. Cruise with the Champions, where racing meets paradise.
Need reliable equipment to power your next project? WestPro JCB has you covered. From durable mini excavators to cutting-edge teleskids, we offer solutions that deliver performance and precision. Visit westprojcb.com today and upgrade your fleet with machines you can trust.
Whether you're a race team, track, series, or business, Matman Designs has you covered. We offer high-quality logo mats, solid mats, rubber logo scraper mats, outdoor scraper mats, Versalite mats, and even custom graphic design services to bring your brand to life. At Matman Designs, we take pride in top-notch customer service and durable, eye-catching products built to perform. Visit matmandesigns.com or find us on Facebook today for pricing tailored to your specific needs. Matman Designs, where your brand stands out from the ground up.
It's time to level up your collection at Columbus Sports Cards. We're talking sports cards, Pokemon cards, and must-have sports memorabilia. Buy, sell, or trade it all in one place. Pulling heat, chasing legends, and stacking your best collection starts here. 5880 Veterans Parkway in Columbus, Georgia. 706-507-9277. Catch the action live on Whatnot and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and eBay. Open Monday through Friday 10 till 7 and Saturdays 10 to 3. Columbus Sports Cards.
Can't make it to the track? Catch everything on Crate Racing USA TV. From live events to on-demand replays, Crate Racing USA TV is your go-to for everything Crate Racing USA. Watch from anywhere at any time. Simply visit CrateRacingUSA.tv and never miss a lap. Welcome back to Crate Racing USA Live, where we have our next special guest on the line, a now two-time winner with the Rogers Dabbs Performance Parts Crate Racing USA Dirt Late Model Series. This past Saturday night, he picked up his second straight crown jewel win at the All-Tech Raceway. Hayden Cardwell. Hayden, welcome in.
What's up, dude? How are you? And thank you for having me.
Man, glad to have you on the show. Now a two-time winner with the series, and pretty good. Both of those have been 10,000 to win features, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's a plus for sure.
And we talked in Victory Lane that your second straight major win at All-Tech Raceway. You know, we talked a little bit in the post-race about that track and being like nothing that we have. I say we because we're both in East Tennessee. Nothing we have here. How is it easy for you to adapt to a place like that?
Man, I honestly don't know what it is. Like I mean, like the race car, like for people that are listening, like it reacts so different down there with just how the dirt is. Like I said in the post-race interview, like the front end just doesn't work. And like how I mentioned earlier, like your car has to be really good down there. But at the same time, if it's off a little bit, like I think me and Joseph both could have been a little bit better in that race. But like if you're off a little bit, I feel like you can make up ground in the seat yourself, really. And you like when it gets like how it is Saturday, you can move around like top to bottom, middle, and just figure out something. So I really don't know what it is, but because I normally hate big racetracks, but my two cruiser wins have been on big racetracks, so I'm not sure what it is. But I mean, honestly, if you look in the past, like even like back to the PAL, I mean, a lot of guys from East Tennessee have had a lot of success there.
Yeah, most definitely, and took a lot of money from down at Florida. Corey Hedgecock was one of those that was able to accomplish that as well. You know, and let's kind of go back to the start. So I want to start with the iRacing. A lot of people that don't know, you kind of got things rolling with iRacing. As a matter of fact, a world champion when it comes to the iRacing level. Kind of take us back to that and what kind of got your racing career started.
Yeah, so I don't know this to my best knowledge. I'll try I don't know exactly what year, but I know I always played iRacing when the dirt stuff came out, but was never like real serious in it. And when I was a sophomore in high school, there started to be money races pop up, and like this is pre-COVID, and like everybody was playing. Like there was like 100 to win, 300 to win, like every single day of the week. And I didn't have a job yet in school, and then I just started running races like every night, every week, and like they had big races that paid $3,000, and it just led into something that I didn't think was possible. And skip a year forward, that junior year is whenever I actually entered in for the Pro Series, which the World Outlaws, they done their sponsor at the time. They sponsored all the money for that pretty much, and I was able enough to win the championship that paid $10,000 on the simulator, and won like almost every big race there was that year, just on a computer. And I think I ended up saving up like $35,000 when I was a junior in high school. And when I turned 18, senior year, Dad told me if I wanted to race, that I was going to have to do it my own, or find a car on my own, pretty much. And he would do anything to help me out to this day. But yeah, like I took everything that I had from there and bought my first car, and I bought it for $5,000. Pretty much everything besides the motor. And my grandfather bought a 602 motor for me at the time, and yeah, it just kind of escalated from there. I bought a trailer for $5,000. My grandfather also had a truck at the time, and just kind of grinded it out until the point that we are now. And I've had a lot of amazing people that I've drove for, to get to where I am now. But yeah, it's just crazy that I started there. Like, I mean, I feel like, obviously William Byron is what everybody thinks about when it comes to iRacing, but I feel like you don't really see it as much on the dirt side. So, I think it's something to be proud of for sure. I don't really like talking about it because I think it's weird half the time, but yeah, it's cool.
But I will ask you this question, and I know this is a question a lot of people would ask, and a lot of people that get on their sims every night. How similar is it compared to real life? What's the pros and cons? What's something that you can honestly say, if you do this on a sim, you do it in a car, and then what's the opposite? What's something that happens on the sim that does not happen in a real car?
Yeah, I'm just going to answer this like how I've got this question a bunch, but just I answer this the same way every time. And like, it's really, really hard to simulate racing around other cars for the first time, especially. You don't really think about that. Like, you can't explain, like, for the first time going out there, like practicing by yourself, you kind of pick up, the little things, but whenever you get out there and go green for the first time with 20 other cars, you kind of just crumble and you don't really know what to do. Like, there's no way to simulate that, in my opinion. But I also tell people at the same time, if I didn't play that as much as I did, like as a kid and growing up, I don't think I could have picked up on like the basic stuff as far as just using like gas and brake and the steering wheel. I feel like that stuff is very, very similar. And like, I just don't think I would have picked up as fast as I did necessarily.
So you mentioned you got your first race car, probably around 21 or so, Sportsman late model, right? 602?
Yeah. Yep.
Obviously, I've known you from the Volunteer Speedway days to 411, I-75, and transition to, you mentioned a lot of great folks you've drove for through your career, and for folks that don't know, this is the second time that you've been racing for Chip, right?
Yes, sir.
Kind of take us back. Obviously, you was in that position with him before, and things went the opposite way. What's something that when this opportunity came knocking again for you to get back into that orange and white 17, that you knew that this was the right decision for you?
Yeah. So, I mean, honestly, this whole deal kind of goes back to my first opportunity, which was at the end of the 23 era with Rusty Webb out of Knoxville, Seymour area, just a couple minutes down the road right now. He does not live far at all from me, and I just kind of made a friendship with Chip during that whole period of time, and it led into driving for him the first time. I think it was 24, 25, somewhere in there. I'm not good with remembering all that stuff, but yeah, it was kind of just stupid of me, really, because I think I ran 5 races with him. The first time I sat in the car was a state race that I won, and we ran really good the 5 races that I did. And the Hedgecocks came to me, not too long after that, and I decided to go that way, and I raced for them for a year. Ultimately, it didn't work out between the both of us. I don't think there's any hard feelings between either one of us, but yeah. And then I kind of just sit around for a couple months doing nothing really. Thankful for my cousin Addison, and Hunter Kerr, and there's Scotty Hogan at the time. I just kind of hopped around in some local classes around here and raced, and about that time, Chip called me, and it wasn't even a thought about answer for me. It was 100%. I'm in this time, and it's been great ever since then, since last year. So yeah.
And I mean, it's been a successful. It's a short amount of time for you, but I mean, the amount of wins you've already accumulated. For folks that don't know, 2 wins this year at the Dirt Car Sunshine Nationals on the 602 side, and you can go back through the list of different series and different events and stuff that you've accomplished. And you move into the Crate Racing USA side of things and made your 15th start this past Saturday night. Got your second win. This series, I know I've had folks on the show and we talk about it. Obviously you're out of your comfort zone because a lot of times we don't go to East Tennessee, and I'm well aware of that because I'm on the road with these guys quite a bit too. For you as a driver, going to these different places and the competition level that you see night in and night out with this, what, in your opinion, as far as making you a better driver, is that something that's definitely happened when you've competed with the series?
I think so for sure. We obviously have some really good guys that run locally here. Like there's 100%, no question about it. But the good thing about traveling out is like the first time I ever traveled out with say a cruiser race, I didn't know anybody that I was racing against, but come to find out, like they have their own world, and the majority of those guys can win on any given night. And I think it makes me better. I like racing guys that are really good, like racing Joseph. I think everybody knows if you can beat him, I think your program and your race car and you have to be pretty good. And just like this weekend at Cochran, we plan coming down there this weekend, and I really feel like there's going to be 40 plus cars for 2,500 and 5,000. So you're definitely going to have to be on your A game this weekend for sure. And every time you show up with a cruiser, really.
It's going to be a big weekend. Of course, Christmas in July at Cochran this Friday and Saturday night. 2 points events for the series. If you can't make it, you can watch live on Crate Racing USA TV. Well, the car that you set in, the 17, the CVR, you and Chip, what's kind of that relationship? What's obviously Corbin's there and you guys are working on the race car. What input do you have? What's kind of the relationship as far as the communication with you all go?
Yeah, man, it's really awesome. Like Chip is so laid back. Like, I luckily I don't have any stress on me to necessarily through the week. Like he doesn't expect me to, help him at all. Like I'll go down there a little bit, but I don't deserve any credit, honestly. Like I'm the one driving it, but they deserve the majority, if not all of the credit for that race car and the way it performs. It's seen a lot of different drivers and a lot of different wins. It really doesn't matter who drives it, but it's just awesome. Like the biggest thing is, driving for somebody like Chip, I feel like I can focus on myself and my craft as far as on the racetrack to be the best that I can. And if I come in, I tell Chip what I feel, and he's instantly fixing it to make it better.
And obviously, that car itself, to quote the house car, but you also been piloting another CVR 17 for Andy Deal, and you've had a lot of good success with that car as well.
Yeah, unfortunately, we were at the Gap a couple weeks ago, leading the 5,000 best plumber race at the time, and hit a hole in 1 and 2 and knocked the whole fence down. So it's on the jig right now, but once it comes off, we were hoping to get it back this week for Cochran, but it doesn't look like we're going to make it. But Andy Dill is awesome to us, man. If it wasn't for him, we probably wouldn't be able to travel up and down the road as much as we do. And, just to drive another car, like, especially like if we're racing somewhere, that's paying good money, most of the time it's with Cruiser and they're running 602s. I think it helps me to run both. So super thankful for everything that he does for us as well.
I know you had both cars down, of course, at Volusia earlier this year, running both of those divisions. Let's talk about another car that we've seen you in for the folks that have paid attention to what you've been into. We've seen you kind of dwindle a little bit in the street stock some. Kind of tell us about that adventure. I know a lot of people say the street stocks, that's a whole nother animal. What's it like getting behind a car with those narrow Hoosier tires on it?
Honestly, it's the most fun you can have with your clothes on, to be honest with you. It's just awesome because you really don't have to do anything to those things. Like, I know other guys, the guys that race them full time, they know a lot more about them than I do, but they weigh so much more than our late models do and have the 8-inch tire on them. They just slide. So, like, you have to drive them like you're driving hard, like, every lap. And, like, you kind of, like, it's so weird. Like, I think they're definitely harder to drive than the late model. And I feel like it helps me out as well. So, you definitely shout out to the Bennett family for giving me the opportunity to drive that thing. And, yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure it's Cruza deal there at the Street Stock Nationals. I know Richie's been there before. If you haven't been to the Street Stock Nationals at Why Not, I highly recommend you going and checking it out. It is amazing. You'll never see 450 race cars in 2 classes for 3 days straight.
And of course, that event 3 wide on a start. I mean, what about that? I mean, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so I was new to all this past year, and I didn't know. Like, I didn't know what I was getting into. And we roll out there, and I guess I'm hard of hearing in the driver's meeting. I'm sure they said everything and explained everything, or I wasn't there one. I don't know. But rolled out there for the race, and I can't remember where I was supposed to be starting, but I was like mid-pack, dead in the middle of both lanes. And fired off there, and, like, it's crazy because, like, you'll run 3 wide for 10, 11 laps before you actually get singled out. Like, the guys that run those cars definitely deserve some credit too, because we ran 20 laps 3 wide at least the majority of the time. Like, it's crazy.
We're talking with Hayden Cardwell, the most recent winner on the Rogers Dabbs Performance Parts Crate Racing USA Dirt Late Model Series. Well, a lot of changes since that Alabama State win. A married man now, right?
Yes, sir.
And working in the air condition, right? Working outside in the air condition right now.
Yeah, it's been miserable this week, bud.
What's Hayden do away from the racetrack for the folks that don't know?
Yeah, I'm an electrician. I work for my brother-in-law, actually, Brandon Miller. He's been around the racing scene a little bit. CD Electrical Contracting out of Maryville. We do mostly all commercial stuff, and fortunate enough, he is a really, really good boss to me, and lets me go racing, pretty much whenever I want. So big shout out to him. And besides that, we just race as much as we can, and electrical 7 to 3:30, 7 to 4, but it feels like 7 to 10:30 in this hotness right now.
So is that if there's an electrical issue on the race car, does Chip let you dive in there and try to figure it out?
No, they got it covered, bud. They got it.
We're talking with Hayden Cardwell. Well, obviously, for folks that are around East Tennessee, the last name Cardwell, that is, there's racing everywhere in East Tennessee. Kind of for the folks that don't know, and I'm sure that's a question that a lot of people ask when they see the last name. Kind of tell us a little bit about Cardwell as far as the last name in racing in East Tennessee.
Yeah, man, this goes back probably maybe the 70s, definitely the 80s and 90s at Atomic Speedway. My great-grandfather, Buster Cardwell, he's in the Hall of Fame at a few places down here. And it started there, and then my dad and his 3 other brothers, Andy, David, and Jason, they were with him every single week, and it turned into Jason Racing, street stock at Atomic, and I want to say 2001 or so, and it led to a bunch of Cardwells each week at the racetrack here. Jason was about the only one that raced anything really. My dad and Andy raced a little bit of go-kart stuff, which my dad is Brian, and they raced a little bit of go-kart stuff, but ultimately they were just with Jason every week. And I want to say, when Addison turned 18 years old, which is Jason's boy, he turned 18, he got his first car. We were all with them, and then Bailey's racing, as much as he can now. Davin's racing pretty much every week now. And, we're all racing right now. It's just kind of spread out across the board. And you honestly can't keep up with all of us because there's so many.
Now that is very true. And at one point in my career, I think I called a race with at least 4 of you in the same race. And that that was an adventure in itself. So
you'd probably get confused. They
we're
were
talking
probably 007s too.
Yes, I will admit at least 3 of the 4 were 07s. I think somebody was in an oddball number. So,
oh yeah.
Well, Cochran this weekend. Let's talk about that. You're planning on coming down. You got a pair of shows this weekend. Have you seen the place? Raced the place? What's some thoughts?
Yeah, I was there. I want to say 23 or 24 at Webb, and we were terrible. We thought we were going to run for cruiser points that year, and we had to take emergency provisional. Ended up pulling off early, but yeah, I was there a couple months ago with the street stock, and I want to say, like, I'm pretty sure they got gumbo style dirt on it now, kind of like Sonoa. And I really think if the track conditions and this weather allows the track prep guys to really put in some work, I think we can have a really good show there. And ultimately, I'm just looking forward to hopefully keeping this momentum going forward. And, if not win, because winning is ultimately the goal, just to have solid runs, man. Like we talked about, this field's no joke, and you got to be on your A game, especially, we'll qualify and probably lock in instead of no heat races this weekend. So you have to be on your A game early to be there at the end for sure. So definitely looking forward to it, and looking forward to seeing some old buddy Thomas from is supposed to be there. So looking forward to seeing everybody down there.
I tell you what, you mentioned something else too, the gumbo surface compared to the red clay that we have back home. What's something for you adjusting to that? What's been the big thing for you to try to adjust to that?
But yeah, up here, like, everybody kind of knows what to expect. Like, this red clay, there's not a whole lot racetracks can do to it, so it's normally pretty slick up here. But everywhere you go, like, we're used to racing on slick racetracks. But I've actually never been to Sonoa or Magnolia. I think they're about the only 2 with that gumbo style stuff on it. You just got to be, like, prepared, because, like, down there, like up here, I guess the best way to describe it is, like, we could have a line around the top. We'll just say, like, I-75. We could have a line around the top that looks like moisture and slick through the middle, and we could probably make just as much speed just circling the middle as we can as abusing our equipment up top. And I feel like, like the gumbo style, like the last time I was at Cochran, like, and especially All-Tech, really, if you're in the moisture, I feel like it definitely makes a big difference, and you got to search the moisture until all that's gone.
Indeed. Should be a fun time. Friday and Saturday, a pair of shows, $2,500 to win on Friday, $5,000 to win on Saturday with the Crate Racing USA Dirt Late Model Series at Cochran coming up this weekend. Hayden, man, we appreciate you giving us a little bit of your time. Looking forward to seeing you this weekend, and looking forward to see if you can possibly get win number 3 and win number 4 and make it 3 in a row in 2 weeks.
Yeah, that would be best case scenario for sure. So, yeah, thank you for having me on here. And, I just want to say thank you to everybody that supports me. CVR Race Cars, Chip Vineyard, tell everybody I wouldn't be the person I am today without that man. He does a lot for me. And thankful for everybody that works there, Jason Howard, Jamie Roth, Daryl, Corbin Moses. There's a ton of people that help us on that thing. I want to thank big shout out to Andy Dill. Andy Dill Trucking, he does so much for us, and we really appreciate his support. Penske Racing Shocks, Travis Volts with DJ's Performance Racing Engines. We had to tear down this past weekend, and he builds his stuff to the spec. It's always good. Runs probably best running crate motor out there, to be honest with you. Vineyard Landscapes, Vineyard Enterprises, and Velocita by Melissa Markowitz. She does so much for us, keeping us fresh on our suits and our gear. Excess Power Batteries for precision welding and fabrication. Just everybody, man. I want to say a big shout out to my wife, Nikki, for really not even caring, just saying, hey, if it's Thursday night, say, hey, we're going racing tomorrow. She's in the car first thing. So just big shout out to everybody, and thank you for having me on here.
For folks that want to keep up with you, where do they need to find you at?
Yeah, the best thing is Hayden Cardwell Motorsports on Facebook. If not, Nikki runs a TikTok page that she updates all of our videos from each week. And yeah, Hayden Motorsport or HaydenCardwellMotorsports.com if anybody wants to see some merch.
All right, buddy. We appreciate it. Thanks for hanging out with us, and we'll see you this weekend at Cochran.
Thanks, dude.
All right, coming up, we'll wrap up the show. Crate Racing USA Live returns with a look at what's on the way in Week 19 of competition. It's on the way next. You're listening to Crate Racing USA Live.
Crate Racing USA Live will return after this commercial break.
Feel the thunder. Experience the heart-pounding action of Crate Racing USA from dirt tracks across the South. Catch every lap, every pass,
3 wide, just momentarily for the
every victory with Crate Racing USA TV.
Modified main event on this Friday night.
Watch live events or dive into on-demand replays anytime. Whether it's a single night shootout or a full weekend of racing, you're in control. Never miss a moment. Watch from anywhere. Visit CrateRacingUSA.tv now for upcoming events and full race replays. Crate Racing USA TV, America's leader in racing.
When performance matters, champions choose Hoosier Racing Tires. As the largest race tire manufacturer in the world, Hoosier produces over 1,000 different types of race tires, engineered for speed, precision, and winning results. With cutting-edge technology like a 300-mile-per-hour test wheel, a state-of-the-art production facility, and advanced mixing plant, Hoosier continues to lead the way in racing innovation worldwide. Hoosier Racing Tires. We fuel passion, pride, and success with our tires designed for champions. Order today at HoosierTire.com or call 574-784-3152. Hoosier Racing Tires. Tires designed for champions.
Racers are dedicated to winning. And Chevrolet Performance's 3 factory-sealed circle track crate engines can help you get to the checkered flag first. Whether you're a weekend warrior or a touring hero, on dirt or pavement, Chevrolet Performance circle track crate engines are engineered to win. Right out of the box.
Welcome to the My Race Pass app, the #1 app for motorsports fans. We want to make sure you get the most out of your My Race Pass app experience. With your new free account, you can use the My Race Pass app to see race day information, including event entries and official lineups and results for over 600 organizations across North America. You can also see track information and purchase online event tickets for select tracks. With your free account, you can also search for a track or series on the My Race Pass app and favorite their profile to receive news and race day notifications on your mobile device. To see more information and to see which app subscription is best for you, be sure to visit getmrpapp.com. My Race Pass, the ultimate racing resource.
Welcome back to Crate Racing USA Live as we get ready to wrap up the show. I got to say a big thank you to John Horn, of course, Dirt Dauber on YouTube and on Facebook. Got us the audio from the racing this past Saturday night at All-Tech. I want to say a big thank you to him. And, of course, Joe Kelly joining me in the booth. Of course, the house announcer at All-Tech Raceway. A big thank you to them and a big thank you to Wendell Durrance for having us for the Harvey Jones Memorial. Look forward to being back when we go back for the Powell Family Memorial. $31,000 on the line later this year for the Rogers Dabbs Performance Parts Crate Racing USA Dirt Late Model Series. Well, it is 4th of July weekend, and, you know, this is one of those weekends that you just sit back and you reflect on how lucky we all are. And this weekend, very special, America celebrating 250 years of this great country. And to the men, the women who gave the ultimate sacrifice, and to the men and women that still continue to fight the good fight today, our law enforcement, our first responders, our troops, all the way across the board, we say a big thank you. Without you, we're not able to have the weekends that we have. We're not able to fly the American flag at the racetrack like we love so much. And most importantly, we're not allowed to enjoy the freedom that we have without what you do. So a big thank you as we celebrate you this weekend. I'm sure there'll be American flags. It's just one of the great things about dirt track racing. There'll be American flags flying at every track across the Southeast. I can guarantee, and across the United States this weekend, they'll be singing the national anthem, and there'll be a lot of fireworks and a lot of big thank yous to all the folks that help us celebrate our freedom this weekend. So keep our country in your prayers, and hopefully everybody stays safe this weekend, and we get to celebrate America's 250th birthday. Well, 4th of July weekend brings us week 19, and we continue to trek so close to the end of the 2026 season. 13 weeks will remain once this weekend is in the books. Here's how things will shape up. We'll start with weekly events on Friday. The Baton Rouge Raceway will have fireworks and weekly racing going on this weekend. It'll be Pine Ridge welcoming in the Late Model Sportsman Tour and some weekly competition on Friday, and Thunder Hill Raceway in Summertown, Tennessee. They'll have a 3,000 to win late model event on Friday night. Whiteout Motorsports Park in Meridian, Mississippi. It's the Firecracker 50 weekend, a big weekend for the factory stocks. They'll have action going on Friday as well. On Saturday, Blackwater Speedway in Baker, Florida. They'll have the July 4th special with Crate Racing USA Late Model Sportsman and street stocks on hand. East Alabama Motor Speedway, they'll have weekly racing plus a fireworks display. Super B Speedway in Louisiana will have a limited mod special and some 4th of July fireworks. And Windy Hollow Speedway, how about this? They're going Saturday night racing up in the Bluegrass State. They'll have their Wiener Showdown. What is that? Well, it depends on how many hot dogs you can eat in 5 minutes. They'll have competition going on. Oh boy, our buddy Blake, he'll have fun with that up there on Saturday night. That's what's going on as far as the weekly competition goes across the Crate Racing USA banner. On the touring side of things, of course, on Thursday night, Rocket Raceway Park in Perry, Texas, welcome the American Crate Late Models. It's the Lone Star weekend this weekend, 3 nights of racing. Rocket Raceway Park Thursday. Friday night, they'll be at Hunt County Raceway in Greenville, Texas. And on Saturday night, they'll close out the triple header weekend at Grayson County Speedway in Bells, Texas. All 3 races worth $1,500 to win. Both Crate Racing USA tours are in action, as we've talked about already in the show. The Crate Racing USA Late Model Sportsman, $1,000 to win on Friday night, $2,500 to win on Saturday night at the Pine Ridge Speedway, and the 3rd annual Rumble at the Ridge. In the Rogers Dabbs Performance Parts Crate Racing USA Dirt Late Model Series, a pair of showdowns at the Battlefield Cochran Motor Speedway, $2,500 to win on Friday night and $5,000 to win on Saturday night. Let's just say this. Once this weekend settles for both the 604 and the 602 tour, we could see some big moving going on as far as the point standings go, and we'll wrap all that up next week on the show. Thank you so much for being with us. We want to say a big thank you to Larry Harrod and Hayden Cardwell for being with us on this episode. As always, we thank our guests, and we thank you for liking, sharing, following, subscribing, everything you do. Hey, get somebody that's not heard the show. Let's invite them. Click the invite button and send them and let them check it out. Maybe a driver got his name mentioned tonight. Give them a shout out. Let them know that they were on Crate Racing USA Live. For everyone, including Adam Stewart and the entire staff at Crate Racing USA, my name is Cody Earley. Thanks for being with us here on episode 15. We'll talk with you next time. So long, everyone.
This copyrighted broadcast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of Crate Racing USA. Crate Racing USA would like to thank our fans for their support, and we hope you enjoyed this broadcast.